Hi, it's good to be with you. Let's find answers to many of the questions that you have on your mind on blood type diet. If you have any questions on the diet, mention it in the comments below. Hit the like button and subscribe. That'll encourage me to do more good videos like this. Let's get into it. I appear to be allergic or reactive to a highly beneficial food. What do? Don't eat it. If your body has been altered by drugs, surgery, or disease, you may have different tolerances for food. The best thing to do in this situation is avoid the allergy causing food and the other avoid foods for your blood type. Choose as many beneficial and neutral foods as possible. Mind you, this sensitivity may change over time. How can I be sure to buy the most natural and freshest foods? In the last decade, supermarkets carry natural and fresh foods. Natural food markets and farmers markets have mushroomed everywhere. Fresh food home delivery services bring food right to your doorstep. Health food stores carry delicious prepared foods. You can even order them online. Are organic foods more healthy than non-organic foods? A good rule of thumb is to use organic vegetables if they're not exorbitantly priced. If price is a concern, you can buy high quality, properly cleaned, fresh, non-organic produce. Better yet, grow your own vegetables. Will eating canned food hurt my diet? Commercially canned foods are subject to high heat and pressure, because of which they lose most of their vitamin content, especially the antioxidants such as vitamin C. However, they do retain vitamins that are not heat sensitive, such as vitamin A. They are lower in fiber, higher in salt, often soggy with little of the life, and they have fewer natural enzymes. Therefore, you should use them sparingly. Your second best bet is fresh frozen foods. Freezing does not change the nutritional content, although the taste and texture is often blunted. Why is stir frying beneficial? The quick stir frying of Asian style cooking is healthier than deep frying because it uses less oil, and the oil itself, typically sesame oil, is more resistant to high temperature than our safflower or canola oil. The idea behind it is to quickly braise the food on its outside, which has the added effect of sealing in flavors. Steaming vegetables is also a quick and effective method of cooking and helps keep the nutrients in the food. Should I take a multivitamin every day on the blood type diet? If you are in good health and are following your blood type diet, you shouldn't really need a supplement, although there are many possible exceptions. Pregnant women should supplement their diet with iron, calcium, and folic acid. Most women also need extra calcium, especially if their diet doesn't include many dairy foods. Those engaged in heavy physical activity, people in stressful occupations, the elderly, those who are ill, heavy smokers, all should be on a supplementation program. How important are herbs and herbal teas? The importance of herbs and herbal teas depends on your blood type. If you're type O, you respond well to soothing herbs. If you're type A, you do well with more stimulating ones. If you're type B, you'll do well without most of them. If you're type AB, you should follow the herbal protocols given for type A and avoid the ones that both type A and B are asked to avoid. Why are vegetable oils so limited on the blood type diets? I thought vegetable oils were good for you. What you have heard about vegetable oil, that it does not have cholesterol, is an advertising gimmick. Plants and vegetables do not manufacture cholesterol. It is found only in animal products. Oils are very blood type specific. You need to refer to the charts on oils and fats for your type. I prefer to use olive oil because I believe it has proven to be the most tolerant and beneficial of fats. As a monounsaturated oil, it seems to have positive effects on the heart and arteries. The finest quality is the extra virgin grade. I have never heard of many of the grains mentioned. Where do I find more information? If you're looking for alternative grains, your best bet is health food stores. Many ancient grains like amaranth and spelt are being produced more now. Another alternative is to use sprouted wheat breads. They're often called manna or essine. Gluten lectins are destroyed by sprouting process. They are live food with many beneficial enzymes still intact. I am type A and I've been a runner for many years. Running is a great way to reduce stress, but I'm confused with your advice that I shouldn't exercise heavily. There's a great deal of evidence that your blood type informs your unique reaction to stress. As type A, you tend to do better with less intense exercise. There's been an observation for thousands of times in 35 years of study. However, what is not known is greater, and therefore there's a hesitation to absolutely say that you shouldn't run. You may be a type A with a twist, one who thrives on intense physical activity, or you may discover that you're running on empty. Should I avoid genetically engineered GMO food? Yes, genetic engineering often involves moving lectin molecules from one species to another. Because lectins are the molecules that interact with your blood types, a food that may seem okay can easily become one to avoid. Just so you know, GMO content is not required to be listed on the food label. The only way to safely avoid GMO food is to choose organic. Why should all blood types avoid pork? Pork is very A-like immunologically, which makes it an avoid food if you happen to have antibodies to the blood type A antigen, like type B and type O do. Paradoxically, hog also has an antibody, isohemagglutinin, in its tissue that reacts to the A antigen, so it should be avoided for this reason by type A and type AB as well. You'll be surprised by the number of people who carry antibodies in their blood type to pork products. There's a mention that most Native Americans are type O. It's about using corn. Most tribes have used them as staple food. An observation of the bone remains of the Indian mound building cultures is an example of effects of adding corn into the diet of type O Native Americans. Before corn became a staple, the bones showed little arthritis or thinning. After corn was introduced, bone deformation began, including major changes to the teeth structure and jaw. Maize stimulates a very rapid and powerful glycemic response. In addition, maize stimulates a very rapid and powerful glycemic response. So it may be that the switch to a maize-based diet from a hunter-gatherer way of life may have been responsible for a precipitous increase in diabetes. If corn lectins are problematic for type O, they're even more serious as a hemagglutinin in type B and type AB individuals. Aside from blood type principles, from general health standpoint, are there any food choice tips? Organic produce, organic dairy, and free-range meats are recommended. Genetically altered foods like virtually all non-organic soya beans, hydrogenated oils like margarine, partially hydrogenated oils, and artificial additives like sweeteners, colors, aromas, and flavors should be avoided. Smoked and fried foods are not recommended. Oils should be purchased and stored in light-proof containers and preferably refrigerated after opening. White flour and sugars should be eaten rarely, if at all. Monosodium glutamate should not be used. Avoid aluminum cookery because it can contaminate your food with aluminum, and microwaves for cooking because they can change the molecular structure of foods in unknown ways. My friend sees a naturopathic doctor who claims that naturopathic principles are based exclusively on vegetarian diet. The idea that naturopathic philosophy is based exclusively on vegetarian diet is deeply rooted in the belief system of some individuals. You need to look at the evidence. Naturopathic medicine was developed from the water cure movement of Europe. Theodor Hahn, he was convinced that a meat-free diet would prolong life. The point here is, before you make a decision to adopt a particular diet, you should understand your reasons apart from vague claims and look at the evidence. If your goal is to live long and healthy life, Don't base your choices on someone's philosophy. How can it be that wheat isn't good for anyone? Hasn't it been a staple in human diet for thousands of years? The wheat that we eat today is not the same as when humans first started eating it. The genetics is very complex. Today's grains are made from three groups of wheat, from natural crossings, mutations, and natural selections. Nowadays, wheat contains 13% protein versus the more ancient wheat, which had only 2%. It not only increased the protein content of wheat, but also increased the allergenic, pro-inflammatory, and metabolic blocking portions of the plant almost sevenfold. The effects of wheat lectin is under-investigated, and many infants and adults have been found to be hypersensitive to wheat. Are there any healthy sugars or sweeteners for my blood type? Refined sugar is addictive and detrimental to your health. Chemically created artificial sweeteners are even more toxic than refined sugar. You can use all natural, healthier alternatives like agave nectar. It has low glycemic index and therefore it will not spike your blood sugar levels. It is neutral for all blood types and both secretors and non-secretors. Raw organic local honey has free radical fighting antioxidants. Studies have shown that it may help alleviate seasonal allergies. It has low glycemic index and it is neutral for all blood type secretors but should be avoided by type O and type AB non-secretors. Pure maple syrup has some health benefits. It promotes cardiovascular health and boosts immune system. It is neutral for all blood type secretors but should be avoided by type O and type AB non-secretors. Molasses can be used in baking, on pancakes and waffles. It has high iron content as well as vitamin B6, magnesium, calcium, and more antioxidants than any other natural sweetener. It's beneficial for type A secretors and neutral for all other blood types. Stevia has 0 calorie. It has phytochemical compounds and help control blood sugar, cholesterol, and blood pressure. It's neutral for most blood types but should be avoided by type B secretors and type O non-secretors. Tofu seems like a very unappealing food and I'm type A. Must I be eating it? Cooked tofu with vegetables and strong flavors like ginger, garlic, and soya sauce. It is nutritionally complete food and is filling and extremely inexpensive. Type A should make a note that the path to your good health is paved with bean curd. I have heart problems and I've been told to totally avoid fat and cholesterol, and I'm blood type O. How can I eat meat? For type O, first realize that it is grains, not meats, which are the cardiovascular culprits. A high intake of certain carbohydrates, usually wheat breads, increases the triglycerides and insulin levels. In response, your body stores more fat in the tissues and fat levels are elevated in the blood. High triglycerides are double the risk factor for heart disease compared to high cholesterol. Also bear in mind that your blood cholesterol level is only moderately controlled by the dietary intake of foods that are high in cholesterol content. Approximately 90% is actually controlled by the manufacture and metabolism of cholesterol in your liver. I'm type O and I don't want to eat much fat in my diet. What do you suggest? A high protein diet does not necessarily mean one that is high in fat, especially if you avoid heavily marbleized meats. You can instead find free-range meats that have been raised without excessive use of antibiotics and other chemicals, but they are more expensive. Instead, you can choose the leanest cuts available and remove all excess fat before cooking. There are other good protein choices that are naturally lower in fat, such as chicken and seafood. The fat in oil-rich fish is composed of omega-3 fatty acids, which helps to promote lower cholesterol and healthier heart. Be fabulous, heal and stay well. See you in my next video.